Hello, welcome to the Sports Nation TV, and this is the Inbound show with your usual host, Franklin Kaweru. With the Inbound, we specifically talk the local basketball, and today's episode is a special one because we are going to be talking about the Silverbacks. Of course, that is the Uganda men's senior national basketball team. Of course, they are going to be competing at the 2025 Afrobasket Qualifiers, and the update is the team left on Saturday to Hammamet in Tunisia, where the first window is going to be, of course, tipping off this coming Friday. And I'm not alone here. I'm going to be dissecting those matters with my colleague, Franklin Kaweru, who is a sports journalist with Kaweru Sports and an editor to be specific. And I can address him as a basketball expert. That does not include him playing, because the only time I've seen him holding that mountain ball, I shot an air on the line. But Franklin Kaweru, don't start from my last description.
Okay,
I'm going to have you on
your submission has very many things wrong. I've played basketball, though not at the high level.
Where did
but
you
you're
play
right.
basketball from?
At Manjas High School.
Manjas?
Manjas High School in
Where
Tororo.
In Tororo. Hey,
Yes.
okay. But of course, we'll need some witnesses.
You can ask around. Ask around people who know basketball playing school of the past.
The traditional ones.
The traditional ones, yes.
Once again, good to have you back. I remember the other time we shot Inbound, we were speaking about the National Basketball League and
Yes.
the start, but now we are back. So how have you been holding up?
No bad. Happy that basketball is back and back in full swing now. Of course, as a person who is not just a journalist but a fan of the game, it's always a pleasure there to be watching basketball.
We were together on Friday here at the arena when City Oilers were dismantling, for lack of better word, KI Titans. How was that game?
Titans are so bad at this point that it is difficult to tell exactly how they play basketball, what structure of basketball they are set out to play. I think they were so cold on the evening. They barely got anything right. And I think they made it so easy for State Oilers to start. Everybody who has followed State Oilers for a while, they know State Oilers is a perimeter team. And once you give them the perimeter, they are going to they are going to punish you. You know, they play with three guards. They play with three guards every other time on the court, and it is going to be very, very difficult if you don't do man-to-man at least. You're going to consider a lot of threes.
Franklin, and of course, we stay in that line. Then on Saturday, there were games at YMCA. The same can be said on Sunday, but those last games, because on Saturday, I think, was it the game between, there was a game that was supposed to be played, I think it was UCU Cannons had a game, then also Sunday, KU Titans had a game. I think they were going to be playing Power, but all those games were scrapped off because of the national team engagements. And I can speak with confidentiality and, I can speak with authority that Friday's game between City Oilers and Blazers has also been postponed, and Blazers are going to be playing Power that very night, because I saw the email that was sent from FOBA to the league managers, to the club managers, and of course some Saturday games, because this weekend the games are moving to UCU Court in Mukono. So some games have also been called off because these players, most of the players, aware have been summoned on the national team. I'm specifically talking about City Oilers, KIU Titans, and UCU Cannons, because City Oilers has 5 players on that team. There is Ivan Mukwezi, there is Faid Bale, Titus Sulua, James Okero, and I think Tony Drileba. Then UCU Cannons has 1 player, Joel Kaila. KIU Titans has 2, Edgar Munaba and Stanley Mugewa. That's the composition of the local base players. The 5 are from the applying their trade abroad. That is Ishmail Wainright, Adam Seiko, Brandon Sebirumbi, were the others, Robinson Opongo Dodge,
and
Zemmanuel Womala.
Womala.
I think he copied some German, right?
Yes.
Those are 13 players. But now the news is that Ishmail Wainright may not be joining the team. Or can speak with authority. That is not going to come.
Yeah, he will not be joining the team for sure.
Why specifically?
I think what has been going on is that Ishmael has been inactive
since he was waived off by
Trailblazers. He has been a bit inactive. It is what we can do right now is kind of to guess what's with him.
Because there is no communication.
Because there's no communication from the federation or the player per se. So what we can do right now is guess he's probably not fit, or he's probably in search of another club, and he doesn't want to be sort of disorganized, be in between. You know, you can go for an international engagement and then you get injured, and then it becomes very difficult for you to get a club, which may be like a waiver in the NBA. It may be difficult for you to get a waiver. If say you have you pick up a knock or something during that game.
We've seen him play in the NBA. We've seen him play for the national team, the Silverbacks. And I'm going to ask the obvious question: how are you going to miss him? How big is he going to be missed?
Yeah,
of course, this qualifiers.
Yeah, I think Wainright had become a very, very important piece for the Silverbacks team, especially when it comes to controlling the ball. He was more like our point forward, to say the least. He controlled every possession, especially in the half court, and so that calmness on the ball, of course, the scoring as well, is going to be missed. But you want to believe it gives an opportunity to other guys to come up and deliver, because it's always a challenge. It is like an opening for you. When an important piece like that is not around, somebody needs to step up and take on that role. And hopefully one of the guys is going to do that.
I wanted to shoot this episode earlier with Albert Ahawe, but the team of course was leaving on Saturday, and he had a tight schedule on Friday.
Yes.
Because they flew out on Saturday. Okay. And so I wanted to know why, in case they knew it in time, who they would have summoned earlier.
No,
was it Brandon?
From what I know is that in my knowledge of how the NBA works and how FIBA works, if Wainright was actively playing, it was very difficult for him to be available in this window. Yes. It was going to be extremely difficult for him to be available in this window. So the option there was Brandon Davis, who plays in Spain, by the way.
I think he's with Valencia.
Yeah, yes. Not Valencia. Is he? No, not Valencia.
I think.
But Brandon got an injury in January. Okay, this was his tournament. He got an injury, I think, on 31st January, and that basically ruled him out of this tournament, because this was his window really. Because in Spain they are playing to FIBA calendars, so it is easier for them to release players to go for their national duty. Unfortunately, he got injured and we couldn't have him.
And maybe this may not be part of our discussion, but I've seen these clashes even with the football side.
Yes. With
the African Cup of Nations being held normally in January.
Yes.
For these last two. I know it has to do with the weather, because CAF already walked back on that decision,
yes,
so that they can organize it in the window
of off-season,
June and July, when the Premier League and the top 5 European leagues have already their season have climaxed. Isn't it right that now FIBA can change and align their national team current activity, so that it can, of course, align with the end of the college and everything, and then be?
No, I mean, American basketball works differently from FIBA basketball. You see, when the US is sending their team for qualifiers, they are not sending the NBA players.
Yeah, they don't send that.
No, so it doesn't bother them. They will qualify regardless of.
I think outside the Olympics, even the World Cup, they don't take that seriously.
Yeah, they do take it seriously. Actually, the moment they get into the tournament, that's when they bring their NBA stars. But the qualifying phase
but
is
seen
for
their stars summoned, and of course
they turn down. Of course, some turn down the invitations.
Yes,
okay,
but that,
because
of course that goes back to how serious they took the tournament. But frankly, with that team, it means that we have 12 players out there.
Yes.
And of course, we are going to be missing in that line Arthur Kaluma.
Yeah.
Why isn't he part of the team as well?
Yeah, of course, Arthur Kaluma is in college, and national tournaments are just about to start. There is no way a college can release a player at this point of the season to come and compete for their country.
Where is Adam Seiko?
Adam Seiko plays in Germany.
Okay. Yeah. And then locally, we as well missing Jimmy Nabu. Who's the national team captain, by the way?
Yeah.
And he has missed some games at the start of the season for City Oilers, but he has competed, I think, in the previous two. Yeah. So did it have to do with fitness or commitments?
It could be a little bit of both. You want to believe with the guards that we have, I think we are not short of quality in the guard section, you know. If you have Seiko, you have Tony, you have Fayed, you have Wamala, who is a 2 of 3. You know,
but many have reservations for Wamala. When I saw that team released, I think, of course, when a team is released, it's like the award ceremony where everyone have his specific winner or someone he wanted to win. Like even for the national team,
yeah.
Even when the national team is released, of course, people will start giving out their opinions, which is okay. Yeah. And the person that I think has faced some negative criticism, of course, I think has got to be Emmanuel Wamala. How can you briefly describe his game? Is he worth to be putting on that national team? I know it's very fun of me to ask that, but
one of the things that is, I think, across sport is that fans are so much interested in the scoring, in the flashy things that players do. The intangibles are usually not seen by ordinary fans, and that is the same thing with Wamala. Wamala is not that flashy kind of player, okay? But the effort is going to give you on defense, okay? Spreading out the floor if you're going in offense. I mean, he gets into the right places, okay? He's able to shoot, okay? Now, for fan who doesn't through a lot of this, for role player, they are going to be looking out for flashy things, you know, because yes, he's not so good on the eye.
They have their names.
They have their names.
I remember
the
back
one that they are
then,
familiar
when they used to brand it as a City Oilers national team.
Yes.
Because most of the players. And there was a time when the local base players all are coming from the City Oilers.
Yes.
And of course, even this time they have taken a lion's share of 5 players on that team. I remember back then we used to, of course, say, why is Caesar not on the team? You remember when Caesar Chizito at the future, when he was still at sharing you, and he could put up those crazy numbers, and everyone was saying, why isn't he there on that team? And of course, then Namblazers fans, they feel that at least someone like Joseph Chuma should be at least someone, or Innocent Ochera. Ochera was someone, and the other time.
Yes, I think all of these guys that you're mentioning, I think, had an opportunity when we went to Angola. When we were short of the foreign-based guys and went with about 7 players.
And Tendo was part of.
Okay, and Tendo was the head coach, I think. Then, of course, Ochera, Caesar, they all got the opportunity to go and compete and look at the quality of competition at that level. You know, and if you have a one-on-one chat with each of them about the experience, I know that, you know, they are going to be honest.
If they're frank.
Yeah, they are going to be honest, and they are going to tell you how hard it is, how basketball is hard at that level. And most of them would admit that they were not really prepared for that kind of basketball, which is also an opportunity now for a person like Edgar who has not experienced international basketball to learn. I don't think he's going to Tunisia to play.
To have many minutes.
I think he has to be there to learn on how international basketball is played and all the kind of adjustments. You know,
Franklin, we used to say that with players like Ivan Moezi.
Yes.
And of course, I've been his huge fan.
Yes.
But his progress, in my opinion, has somehow retarded. He's one of those players that promised a lot, but is yet to step up where we expected him to be. And even the start of the season, he has not shown that he's stepping up. I know you can put there his numbers, what and what, but many people still feel that maybe he doesn't deserve to be on that national team, because national team should be, in my opinion, a reward of the hard work. Is he someone out of his performance, or is because he has been in that setup?
I think it is very unfortunate to say that Ivan Mohez does not deserve to be on the national team. Actually, if you've been following Ivan over the past 3 seasons, I think he has been improving with every other season. Okay, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be Ivan Mohez's season for sure. If you have watched the 3-4 games, again, I'm saying
maybe our producer should have
this is going to be Ivan Mohez's season. I need you people to look at the kind of roles that Ivan is taking up under Tendo. He's the leader of that team on offense. He's taking on the offensive role, a big offensive role. You know, he's very aggressive. Okay, he's attacking the hoop. He's shooting the basketball, and he shoots really, really, really well. And the amount of work that Ivan has been putting in over the past couple of years, you can see the work right now. I think if there is anybody who deserves to be on that national team, is Ivan.
Yes, as an individual, I might know. He might have his justification on why he's there, but
it has nothing to do with
most of the questions
being
that
part of the setup.
Pushing to you don't entirely come from me, but I'm just speaking opinions from most of the fans, because we've been like on many platforms where these players are being discussed, and you can see some fun. Specifically,
I want to first dismiss what you say. The claim of a national team should be a reward of hard work. I think it's not just hard work. You need to be efficient. You need to be playing basketball.
And at times, there is also this. I think I heard it was Pep Guardiola, that player can be that very good, because he was criticized while he was still at Barcelona, the way he let the likes of Samuel Eto'o leave.
Yes.
And I remember everyone was those people who are close to Guardiola. They usually said that you will say that it's not about how good the player is. It's about what can he fit in what the coach wants.
Yes.
I think, is it the same case with most of these players?
You can look at it in that way, but for me, one of the things that I usually want to find out, like, if say you don't want Ivan Mohez to be on the team, what is the alternative you are providing? Okay, who is a better shooting guard in our league right now than Ivan Mohez? Pure shooting guard. Is there a better shooting guard right now in our league?
That will be another point of discussion. But now, let's away from the squad.
Yeah.
Let's look at the qualifiers generally, because, like we've said, the qualifiers start on Friday.
Yes.
We are starting with Cape Verde. Then on Saturday we play.
All the four.
Yes. Then on Saturday we play Nigeria.
Yep. Then
the following day on Sunday we play the winner of Zone 1 and 2. Matchup between
Libya and Morocco.
Yep. They played in Tunisia. I think that was yesterday. That first game ended 75-75 because initially the Zone 1 and 2 winner, I think, had also to that tournament was supposed to also include Algeria before they pulled out.
Yes.
So there are 2 teams, and then FIBA decided that the winner of both, because they are going to be competing in 2 games, the winner of that will join Group B, that has Uganda, Cape Verde, and Nigeria. So the first game ended 75-75, and we earlier thought that maybe they're going to be playing overtime. What happened?
Which is a bit of weird. FIBA Africa doesn't cease for amuse me. So ideally, what happened is they chose to play 2 games, those 2 teams, instead of a one-off. And they went for a points difference as the nature of how they are going to determine the win of that matchup. And so they chose not to have overtime in the
because
first game because there is a return leg, which still remains
weird. The crazy thing is that both games are being played in, I think, is it Tunisia?
Yes.
Is it Tunisia? Sal, where is Sal?
Sale.
What is that? Is it in Tunisia?
It is in Tunisia, yes.
Yes. So if it was like one team is hosting, then the next time you fly out and the other team hosts, that could have been understandable. At least they should have given them only one game.
Yes.
The winner, of course, qualifies.
That's the point. Again, if you have a game ending, a basketball game ending in it, ideally it is supposed to be overtime. There has to be a winner.
Yeah, and the first time I looked at that link, I thought that maybe there is something wrong with the guys who are updating that. But anyway, do you fancy anyone to come? Who do you prefer?
It's not preference. I think we played Morocco in the previous qualifiers. We played Cape Verde in the previous qualifiers. Of course, we played Nigeria multiple times.
No, I'm specifically talking about Morocco and
again, I'm coming to your point. I think the way we played against Morocco in Egypt in the previous qualifiers, it didn't come off to me as a team that is too good. You know, it's familiar. I think you'd rather play a familiar team than one that you have not played before. So,
but anyway,
I would prefer Morocco.
Yeah, but given that if the first leg ended 75-75, it means that maybe they are both on the same level. But Franklin, that window, of course, it's like in home and away format, where we are going to be playing each of our opponent twice. But for this is the first window. We are going to be playing 3 games. Like I said, we start with Cape Verde on Friday. Yes. Saturday we play Nigeria, the Tigers. Then Sunday, we play either Morocco or Libya. Then the second window will be, I think, next year in February.
Tournament,
and then in that group B, the top 3 teams will be qualifying for Afrobasket. Maybe you can start from there. What are our chances?
What are our chances? I think we need a result in this window.
By result, what do you mean?
By result, we pick a win. I think it is important that we have a win in the first window.
Yeah, because like 2 wins will be enough for us to qualify.
Yeah, but 2 wins, I know, but you don't want to pick those 2 wins in the second window because that time every team improves massively. They bring their best when they fancy their chances. So it is important that in this first window we pick a win. Whichever way it comes, whether it comes from Nigeria, whether it comes from Cape Verde, whether it comes from Morocco or Libya, the most important thing is that we need to have a win in this window. Okay, if that is not the case, then we need to have a small losing margin, very very small losing margin that you can overturn. Okay, because it might come down to points difference. Okay, in the second window, so it is better that we get at least a win in this window for our chances to be bright of qualifying.
But maybe one would ask, why are the other 2 teams playing in that pre-qualifier to qualify to the qualifiers, the other Morocco and Libya? But the thing is, with these qualifiers, I think they picked the 16 teams that competed at the previous Afrobasket.
Yes.
That was, I think, in 2021.
2021, yes.
In Kigali, Rwanda, right?
Yes.
So those qualified automatically to the qualifiers.
Yes.
The other teams that didn't qualify for that
had to go through the zones.
Yes, had to go through their zones to have a place. So Group B, we are given the Zone 1 and 2 winner, which is going to be decided soon. And then, Franklin, if we look at this, is going to be like we are competing for to get a slot for a 4th consecutive season, for a 4th consecutive tournament. Because we first played, was it 2015? I think we finished 15th. Then in was it 17?
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah,
we finished 13th. Then recently in 2021 in Kigali, Rwanda, we finished 6th.
Not 5th? Not 5th?
I think 6th.
Okay.
Yeah, which is our best placement ever.
Yeah.
We could have gone far, but our journey was stopped by Cape Verde. I think we lost to them in the quarterfinals.
Yes.
If that old man is coming again to haunt us. Because I remember James Okero battling with
He will definitely be there. I think that is one of James Okello's best games I've watched him play in national team colours. The battle he had with the giant of a man. I mean, he's probably the best center in Eurobasket. You know, you can't argue with that. And if Oxy put up such
and they have
big
good perimeter shooters, by the way. It's such a joy to watch.
Yeah, they enjoy it because they'll play together for a while. They'll play together for a while. But again, a match against Cape Verde is one that can go either way because these are teams that know each other. These are players that have battled against each other over the past 3-5 years. Okay, Tony has been part of those battles. Of course, Seiko has been part of those battles. Oxy, James Okello himself. And you know, it is going to be one interesting game where you have a team that is so familiar that you're facing. I think it is a game that could go either way, provided. I mean, this time it might be Sewirumbi who will be tasked with the taking on the big man, and I think our chances are okay. But we may not have the best team out there, but I think we're okay.
But then after that battle with Tavares, then the following day, Nigeria, the Tigers, who are 2015 winners, because they have won the Afrobasket, and this they will be competing to get that 20th appearance at the Afrobasket. We are searching for a 4th ticket. We are going to be facing an African powerhouse. How is that? But will Nigeria also have those big stars that we normally see?
Nigeria has so many basketball players, so many across the world, Europe.
So whoever comes up,
Australia and all that, they're always going to get a good team out there. I think with a team like that has very many pro players across the world, they're always going to get a competitive team to come.
Just don't know what they're going to deliver, but you know that
they are going to be competitive. Yes, you know they are going to be competitive. Yes, yeah.
But because I remember we beat them before. Yeah. Is that
in the previous qualifiers
that we are going to have a while going there in Tunisia?
Yeah, I think one of the things that
in terms of confidence.
Yes, one of the things that you look at right now is that Uganda has come of age. The Silverbacks have come of age. You know, it's not a team that comes to a tournament knowing other opponent knowing that that's the sure win now. You know, right now Uganda is very competitive. It doesn't matter who you're putting out on the floor, they are going to compete. That you can be certain, and it is not going to be different this time around. Tony is a competitive guy. Seiko is a very competitive guy. Fayed very competitive and has played at the highest level. Titus has played at the highest level. Brandon has played at the highest level.
By the way, is Brandon will be playing for?
I'm not so certain now. I think it was in...
but the good thing is he has already joined the team because the team arrived, I think, yesterday.
Yes.
He joined together with the team. Then we know the likes of Adam Seiko will be joining them soon as well. But it will be very important for us to win at least one game.
Yes.
But with the uncertainties we have, because you know how Ugandan things operate. Because everyone will say that how good is the Silverbacks team that we sent out, because it's always very difficult. They didn't have any training session here. Of course, it has to do with with the lack of funds and national council.
NCS is.
Did they receive anything? The other time I saw you talking with the FUBA president,
NCS. The first thing I heard earlier on, I think like a couple of weeks ago, is that the communication was that they don't have the money. Apparently NCS does not have the money at the time for this squad. And that time, the netball team had just come back from the international series.
Yeah, the Vitality Nations Cup, where they played,
and I found it a bit disturbing for NCS to claim that there is no money. I think the biggest problem is that when NCS doesn't dispatch this man on time, it also becomes very difficult to demand for results.
With them, they always tell you that we have not also received funding from the government coffers. And the thing is, so I think we didn't get a chance to speak with Nasa, but maybe from there after we'll be hearing stories that bargains will say.
Of course, you cannot make that trip without going. It is now, you would say it is now part of, it is more like a tradition now, because it is going to be very difficult for, it is difficult, I don't know why, but it is very difficult for NCS to avail funds. And one of the things that I'm very sure, it is not that, I cannot sit here and say that the guys at FUBA don't know this stuff. And that they are so dumb that they cannot submit these budgets on time. I cannot. Yes, I can't sit here and say that.
Yes, and I remember the other time I was speaking with Albert, I think it was on Friday or Wednesday, when he told me that, man, NASA won your team. Man, you look at the man like carrying the hope and the burden, I can call it a burden. National team
I think that's it's not a good thing that unfair. It's not a good thing that
but that's not new, and it cuts across most of the sports disciplines except the guys in Mengo. But of course, given that our lack of preparations, because I think the boys are going to prepare
have just a few days, 2 days,
3 days or
2
days,
max,
to have that those few practice sessions. Yeah. Will they be enough to put that team in good shape?
No. I think it is. You cannot demand
a lot from that.
A lot or anything from a team that is going to be together for 2 days, 3 days ahead of a qualification tournament. I think you can't put your hopes so high in a team that is going to be practicing for 2 days. That is something that shouldn't be happening in modern sport, and especially for a sport that is performing, that is a priority sport, to say. The team should be having ample preparations, and we have seen every time that they have had ample preparations, the performance has been good. You know, of course, for example, when they prepared long enough for the previous Afrobasket, they superseded whatever performance they had put together, and so
they literally punched above their weight.
Yes, so it is very, very important that preparations for these teams are taken seriously, and personally, I'm not going to ask too much of this team that has been together for just 2 days. You know, it is going to be. It might probably come down to individual brilliance here and there. You know, a player taking a responsibility, but if it is about team cohesion, that is not something that you're going to expect from this group.
And then maybe I want us to end this on your predictions and expectations in brief. We start with Cape Verde. Your predictions on that?
I want to say Uganda can win that game, but I'm not sure. If it is close, that game is going to be a small losing margin for sure.
But then Nigeria?
I cannot predict. I don't know what type of Nigeria is going to be out there.
Then the last Sunday game.
The Sunday game. I think that is one that we can actually win.
Yes.
Or we should actually win.
The summary is we are in Group B, and I repeat this: we have Cape Verde, Nigeria, and the Zone 1 and 2 winner between Morocco and Libya. This is the first window. The second window will be playing next year in February at yet to be confirmed venue. Thank you, Franklin, to have you on this show. We hope to get you back like we had you the other time. And for all our viewers out there, this has been the Inbound Show. I think next time we'll be coming next week, taking a look into the concluded first window. And of course, the National Basketball League, like I said, it continues throughout this week. But on weekend, the games will be in Mukono. On Friday, the big one is between Namblazers and Power. Is it a big one?
Power is not a big team anymore. It was, I think it was a big team in 2017 downwards.
Thank you, viewers. I've been your host, Bran Kawalia. My good guest, Franklin Kaweru of Kawo Sports. This has been the Inbound Show, running weekly on the Sports Nation TV. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day.